from South America, Father Keith Kitzhaber, working in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. This is going out to all the kids at Adventure Camp. A special hello to Pat Brigham and to Veronica, working on staff there this year. I'm at the entrance to the old church, and you can see in the stone behind me, the church stone was laid in May of 1958. And this is the original church that was built by Father Joe Walieski back in the 50s. And so what we're going to do is kind of give you some shots of around the building and a little bit of the background. I am in one of, they call them salones or salons. Really, it's a meeting room, and this one is being renovated and updated because the Pope's coming here. So, yeah, the Pope's coming here. It's kind of weird. So they put in a false ceiling, and they painted. They put in better lighting. They're still in the process of doing that. They're going to be putting in curtains. And they're repainting it as well, so you can kind of take a spin with the camera over there. See what's going on. Things happen fast when they need to here. We're back again. I'm in the entrance to the Pastoral Center, and as you can see, it's kind of a busy place. This particular building was built about 2006 or 2007. It has 6 large rooms for gathering. This is the main gathering, or the front door to the office where people check in, ask for mass intentions and things like that. Okay. We're inside the new church that was dedicated about 4 years ago. This church seats 900. But, for example, last night we had about 1,100, so there's a couple hundred people in the back here standing. There's some kind of pseudo stained glass windows here. There's the high altar area behind the altar where they've got the picture of Jesus resurrected. This was done in Bolivia. The decorating or the planning was done by Bishop Bob Flock when he was Father Bob Flock. And for those of you who don't know, he's from St. Mary's Ridge, which is just south of Sparta. And he's been in Bolivia for about 27, 28 years now, but he spent the first 24, 25 right here at this parish. And he was the brains behind this whole design. The church is basically square because that's the ground we had to work with and the space available. So you'll see images of Christ in the stained glass windows, as well as a lot of imagery that's mixed with like native symbols that people would recognize who are from the indigenous groups. Ready? Okay. So this is the rectory. It was constructed about 15 years ago. This is the first thing that Father Bob did when he started construction, was the rectory. So about the year 2000 it was built, and there's 3 priest suites. They have a bedroom, a bathroom, and a small office. And then a couple guest rooms, a couple work rooms, kitchen, living room, dining area. And then there's the inner courtyard here that was just done last week. They put in small stones, they put in these little shrubs, they put in little plants. We cut out 2 of the trees that were in the way, and so it looks nice for when the Pope arrives in a few days. All right, so this is the vehicle that Father Ed bought in the 1980s. This is a Suzuki Carry. It's a 6-passenger, they technically call it a minivan, but I consider it a microvan because I can grab both outside mirrors at the same time without touching the hood. It's because you can see this is a really state-of-the-art piece of equipment here. They put the engine so that you can service it as you're traveling. So the engine is right there, underneath the seats. So if you want to know, yeah, the seats are heated in this vehicle. So I consider that a luxury item. Although we live in the tropics here, it's not really that much of a bonus. I checked on YouTube, and not YouTube, but on Google, and I found out that this particular engine is about 40 horsepower. What does that mean? It's about a third or a quarter of what your average car would have in the United States. This thing weighs 1,700 pounds. There are no airbags. There's no power steering. It's a 5-speed manual transmission. There's a wonderful collection of wires hanging out down here that we're not really sure what they do, but we're just going to leave them. in case they're important for something, like the brakes. We don't know what kind of gas mileage it gets, but every time we drive by a gas station, we fill it up. You can see, very, very commodious inside here. There's plenty of space. So, if I wanted to, I could just sleep in here. Very comfortable. And this even has these seats that fold and collapse, just like a Honda Fit. Although this is much better. Are there seat belts? Sure. Oh, why would you wear them? Look at the crumple zone. The distance between you and an accident is probably 2 to 3 inches. In fact, where the clutch comes through the floor, you can actually see the ground underneath. Now that's real authentic driving. But anyway, that's all. And some people ask us, Father, how do you prepare for homilies? Well, what we do is we take this tank here and heat it up so that the air inside is very hot. And then we stick this in our mouth and press the on button until we feel we've reached that pressure level where we can blow on and on and on for 10, 15 minutes during a homily. And that's how we prepare for homilies here in South America. A couple of the newer residents here at the parish, we have Miel. Miel. Krakush is the big lab. They are guard dogs. I'm not sure what they would do. They would probably lick the predator to death. Come here. Oh wait, they're not allowed to cross the threshold. We have to go to them. Krakosz is the Polish way to say somebody who's from Krakow. This dog was owned by Bishop Stanislaus, who's from Poland. He works about 2 blocks from here at the seminary. This is Miel. She's a street dog, mix of perhaps lab or maybe German Shepherd or something else. So, they're very happy to be people. Oh my God. Did you see what happened? All right. Like I said, the Pope's coming. So one of the suppliers of communications here is called Tiga, and they are in the process of erecting a transmitter tower so that this mass that we're going to be having about a block or 2 from here is going to be transmitted live, and this will be Grand Central Station. The priests will gather in here, and there'll be about 800. And they'll set up the tower like today. So we're kind of in their way. So we're going to move now. Or maybe follow them.